The beautiful thing about starting to live from the perspective of energy is that all of your choices start pointing you in the same direction, and they start carving out a life that is suited perfectly to you. You can't get a prescription from someone else that says, say yes to the first 3 things and anything after that say no, because you may have much less energy than another person, or 10 times as much energy. You may do wonderful in social situations, or they may drain all of the energy from you. Living from a bioelectric perspective is giving yourself the freedom to make the choices that are aligned for you. Science is a beautiful language that, when used properly, is just describing the same things that the Tao Te Ching described, but in a way that's more actionable. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. I am diagnosed with autism and ADHD and have a passion for understanding how the human experience works from a neurobiological perspective, and I've kind of got a thing for spirituality. Today we're just going to take a look at a couple of principles that are foundational to learning how to see and think from the perspective of energy in bioelectric fields. I'm not saying that these perspectives are going to be really easy to take on, but they will reduce so much suffering in your life. And that is the truth of it. The first concept that's really foundational for me is that you are not your body. You need your body to be alive and be whoever you are. Yes, I'm not arguing that at all. But it's important to understand you are not your body, because the symptoms, the emotions, and the behaviors that you are struggling to control within yourself right now are not a reflection of who you are. They are a reflection of what is happening in your body. As an autistic person, I have found that I could have all of the intellect in the world, but it isn't worth squat if I can't control the body. I need to train the body to have a high enough coherence that it will let me communicate a message clearly. Therefore, the body and me are not the same thing. This sounds simple, but a lot of us, when we're having neurodiverse or mental health issues, we struggle to get the most basic things done sometimes, and we feel like this is a moral failing. Why aren't I doing this? The truth of the matter is that you're not being lazy. The problem is your ability to get the energy and desires through the body to get the message that says, oh, I need to go do this task. That's why it's really important to understand you aren't the body, because then you can stop being so mad at yourself all of the time for all of the flaws that happen. And then you can also stop being mad at the body, oh, you're too skinny, oh, you're too fat, oh, you're not strong enough, oh, I hate the way the nose looks. And start seeing it as like this precious thing that you rely on completely. If you had someone in your life that you treated the way that you treat your body, would you expect it to ever turn around and do anything for you? Because we are so hard on ourselves and we are so hard on our body. And the more that I ground into the fact that I am separate from my body, the more I appreciate the hell out of it for everything it does for me. Once we start getting this understanding baked in, we can start seeing our emotions, our feelings, the behaviors, and the symptoms we're struggling with from a whole different perspective. Because now they are truly just information. You have to experience all of that information, and it can suck. I'm totally with you there. Understand that when I'm feeling agitated, it's not because of anything that anyone's actually doing most of the time. It typically is because 30 minutes after breakfast, I get a burst of energy that's really unorganized, so I start feeling frustrated towards everything, and I need to get the heck out the door and go burn some energy, and then I will feel better. It has nothing to do with my character. It has nothing to do with my son. The same goes for the symptoms that I'm having. I can hear my son playing with something and making noise, and depending on the state of my body, that noise can not bother me at all, or it can be extremely jarring to the point that it sounds like I'm hearing it twice. Once as the sound that it is, and once as like a tinny ting in my eardrum. And the second that I hear that, I understand I am off balance. I am out of alignment. I am out of coherence. Everything that you experience becomes information about what's going on inside your body. And you understand that if you get the body to feel a certain way, to have a certain amount of energy, then you can use it better and you can think better, then you naturally start to see life from this perspective of a game of what's going to make the body lose energy, gain energy, organize the energy, coherence, disorganize the energy, chaos. That is how you start to make your choices. There are things in life that just come at you, situations that previously you might have said yes to because from a society perspective, it's the right thing to do. But from an energy perspective, it's just going to bring chaos into your life. So you're willing to say no. An example of this would be my son's dad really wants to co-parent. From the society perspective, it's so nice that he wants to get along nicely to be able to work together. But from a reality perspective, we had an incredibly toxic relationship, and there's like a million pieces of incoherence in my body. On top of that, he needs a lot from people. From an energy perspective, this is like 3 crosses, don't even go there. You don't have to co-parent. Then in life, we also have all of these choices that we get to make on our own. Choices of where do we want to live? What kind of project do we want to work on? From a bioelectric perspective, it starts getting a lot clearer of, do I really want to have 30 different projects on the go? No, because that's going to be incredibly draining. So it hurts, but I'm going to learn to start saying, no. I'm going to start throwing out projects. I'm going to whittle it down to the point where I manage this one project. When every choice you're making starts coming down to how will this affect my energy, my coherence, then all of your choices start working together and pushing you in the same direction, which is exactly what your body wants, because your body is always trying to heal itself. This is totally the opposite from trying to live life from like the society-based perspective of images, because then you can be pulled in 20 different directions because, oh, well, they said that I should parent this way. Oh, but they say I should have my house look that way. And that doesn't work with the way I want to parent. But then if I have, it's just too much. My neurodiverse brain can handle one direction, and getting everything aligned and coherent is this beautiful process because all of your life starts to integrate. It is wonderful. There's nothing much practical here today, except for suggesting that you start asking the question of this person who asked me for help, what's going to happen to my energy if I say yes? Because you know what's going to happen. You just don't choose by that. You know that if you say yes and you're out all night, you're going to be tired tomorrow. You just don't think about it. You think about what they're going to think of you or what someone else might think of you instead. You might appreciate this video, which does have practical advice for what kind of methods to use to get yourself back in balance, depending on how you're feeling and what you're struggling with.